got the badass. The only chance you have no chance. If you had a chance, you could run lickety split. But you can't run because you're the badass. Well, Ric Flair, you know what? I'm not a normal-looking athlete myself. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in the years of line. It's a privilege and an honor to walk out with Ole Anderson, Lex Luger, and the arm that tomorrow night.
I am not a happy camper. What is Bully Ray's motivation? You know I know he loves sugar. But I checked my pocket. I don't have no donuts. I don't have no cheeseburger. I know you love sugar, but I ain't got none.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here in Nashville, Tennessee, pal. I'm the man.
Look at a match for the total package Lex Luger and Super Brawl. Super Saturday? What is it? I don't know what it's called. What is it called?
Super Bowl Saturday.
Super Brawl Saturday?
You don't lose faith in winners. And Ric Flair, day in and day out, every day of his life, just keeps winning and winning and winning.
Ric Flair! New York City, Ric Flair! You're gonna find out what hard is all about! I do exactly what I want to do. You say I'm insane. I say thank you very much.
Make a good lucha.
I hate God!
Hit the double! Yes! We love your steps,
Today, woo, I've got the star and profile like never before.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
What is going on, everybody? How is it going? It is Wednesday night. It is Dirt Sheet Dudes. I am Boxman, and sitting across from me is my main man, Smark. What is going on there, bruh? Smark's on mute. Now he's not.
What is good, sir? How's it going tonight?
Yeah, a little rough, but I think I can make it through the show. Got a hold of some bad leftovers last night, and haven't been very good since. Not at all. Got fucking body pain. My stomach is killing me. I feel like I was up fucking throwing up all night, dude. My body is hurting from head to toe. I don't know what the fuck is going on with me, man.
Yikes, that did not sound fun at all.
No, I think it might be time to go see a doctor. I probably need to find out what's going on. I mean, I'm getting weird shooting pains in my toes. Probably not good. Probably not good is all I'm saying. But I'll figure out what it is, I guess. Probably have to do 9 million tests on me. I hate tests, Mark. Anyway. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I remember you saying you don't like needles and whatnot.
No, don't like needles, don't like tests, don't like cameras being shoved down any orifice of mine. But one way or another, I do need to figure out what the hell is going on with me, because this body pain is getting pretty unbearable by this around now. It's been a couple months, and it just seems to be getting worse. So I don't know. I'll live, I think. I hope. Maybe. Who knows? Whatever, right? Whatever.
Gotta live until...
There you go, man. All right. So let's go ahead. We will go ahead. Obviously, we've got a bunch to talk about. I got to be honest, didn't watch Raw, didn't watch NXT, did watch All Out, did watch AEW Dynamite tonight. So we definitely have plenty to get into with just that and news. And how about before we get into that, why don't we jump into plugs real quick, Smark, knock them out, and then we'll try to knock this show out as quick as possible tonight so I can get some fucking sleep. All right, let's start out. We got the high marks, of course. It's Cheeseman, it's Mojo, it's G-Wiz, and of course, thanks Cheeseman for joining us on the return show of Hollywood Hangout. Had a great time doing draft day with Cheese and Smark, of course. Definitely appreciate you guys letting me pick your brain on sports for a little while. But you guys want to be checking out the high marks right there on Mixler.com/Metal Mitt Network. That's right, 2 T's in Mitt. Make sure you add that second T when you go check them out, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday nights. And, of course, the Inhumans on the Inhuman Experience. It's Bobby Anthem. It's Bobby Blades. And they can be found on all those usual podcast platforms. And the Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. Check out those guys, too. 100% check them out. They're on Blog Talk Radio. They're on all the usual podcast platforms. And you should be listening to them. And, of course, Stephen Milan, he's out there sharing the show. It's greatly appreciated. Go over, check him out on Letterboxd, BOXD.com/Stephen Milan. He's over there reviewing films. Don't forget to put 2 L's in Milan. And don't forget, join me once again Friday night. Not sure what I'm doing yet, but I'll figure it out tomorrow for a Hollywood Hangout. Going to start probably 9 p.m. Eastern Time, a little earlier. I didn't get to bed till like 3 the other night, so... Yeah. Start a little earlier, get it knocked out, and let everyone else go out or get to bed, whatever they do. Go for it, Smart.
Yes, sir. Mondays, 8:30 p.m. on the Metal Mitt Podcast Network on the Mixler Machine. It is Cheese on Sports with Cheeseman, G, Wiz, Matt, Luke, and myself. Be sure to check us out. Opening week of NFL is here, so we're going to be talking about that. There's predictions, there's UFC talk. Always be sure to check it out. Sundays, 10:30 a.m. on the Metal Mitt Podcast Network. Also on the Mixler Machine, the Motor City Machine Guns with Mojo and with Dirk. And last but never least, be sure to check out our friends at Planet Raconteur. It's a Planet Raconteur podcast with Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave Sincere, and Young Nasty. All 16 episodes of Season 1 are ready and available for you at your leisure. And be sure to subscribe for Season 2.
All right. There you go, because it's coming for you.
That's it.
Brother. All right. There you go. Smark over there talking sports. Definitely check that out. All right. So I guess we can get into... Wow. AEW All Out. I don't think we need to really go down the whole match card, Smark. I mean, let's face it, it happened already a while ago at this point. But wow. What a fucking show, man.
Very much so. It was one of those, like, I don't think it's even humanly possible just in today's day and age that anything could be unanimously loved, but it's as close as you could possibly get, I think.
Well, I did see some people shitting on it, but those, some people just hate AEW, and there's nothing you can do to change that. But I got to tell you, man, I mean, All Out, every match, I cannot pick a bad fucking match on the show. I loved Miro and Eddie Kingston. I thought that was such a fucking good story. There's those two told in the ring. The Moxley match was great. Britt Baker was fucking awesome. We have new tag team champions. Just every fucking match. Plus, Smark, we got fucking Ruby Soho debuted. And my God, I thought she was going to cry. She got, I mean, they were chanting her name throughout that whole Casino Battle Royale match. And Ruby Soho comes out as the Joker at the end of the match. What a fucking ovation for her. Literally, she looked like she got choked up for a second there. But awesome to see her win. Awesome to see her tonight, too, man. Just great stuff. So we got Ruby Soho, Adam Cole, and Bryan Danielson. Holy shit. This company is picking up some fucking people. I mean, Punk, Bryan, Cole. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Cole, but I know a good signing when I see it. So,
Right.
Go ahead.
Real quick, to kind of give credence to what you were saying before with the Ruby thing, a direct quote from her is, because I noticed that too. It looked like she was about ready to cry. And she said, I've never experienced anything like that before. To have people have that anticipation for me to come out and for people to want that and for people to get it and get excited is something that I think all of us in wrestling industry thrive for. So just the idea of like, it's kind of makes me a little bit sad. She's like, I don't know what it's like for people to cheer for me. I don't know what it's like to be a part of a company that actually supports me.
Well, I mean, you got to figure someone like her. She gets fired from WWE. Excuse me, WWE. She doesn't know what she's gonna do. She's kind of hanging. She puts out these videos that are pretty goddamn cool. I was liking the videos. Changes her name, and she's probably sitting there going, did WWE fuck me up so bad that I can't, be fucking, the popular girl anymore? And I'm sure that felt good for her. I'm sure, at some point, I think, they probably doubt themselves when they get fired. And then, boy, when she heard that fucking crowd, though, man, I mean, and it was great. It was awesome to see. Plus, they got Rancid's Ruby Soho.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they are spending some money on fucking entrance themes, man.
Yeah, indeed they are. Indeed they are. But it adds to the whole feel and organization presentation of it. I mean, that was obviously one of the big things about like ECW was that, everybody had sort of an iconic theme song and, licensed theme. Well, not licensed, their way of licensing themes.
Yeah, it was a little different back then.
Just using them and hoping. Yes. DMCA was not quite as overbearing or even existent, I don't think, at the time.
No, definitely a different time for music when, you play a few seconds of somebody and trust me, you get a copyright strike for it. So, but, here, I guess we can go through a few of them here. We had the Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima match. That was really, really a good match too, man. With Suzuki coming out after the match and hitting a hell of a pile driver on Moxley. You're lagging it a little bit still. I don't know why. Maybe it's Skype's fault. Want to blame Skype?
Yeah, I think though, because we got the face. You guys always blame Skype. Absolutely.
Tell you what, let me turn my video off and see if that helps at all. Let's see if that might help it a little bit. It could. It definitely could. So, all right. But, yeah, that match there. But like I said, that Suzuki coming out, just looking as badass as he always does, but hit a hell of a pile driver on Moxley right there, man. So.
It's interesting because I was surprised they had those fucking.
All right, now you're just breaking up completely at this point. Damn it, I thought we had it fixed. You were perfect during the plugs there, and then it just started going out a little bit right there. I'll roll on a little. Well, almost got it. Almost got it there. But I'll roll on a little bit if you don't mind. Wait. What was that? What was that you said?
Take two. Let's see.
Oh, that sounds better. That was better. You good? You good there? Nope. Might need take three. All right. So we had the.
We'll see. Hold on. Try again. With this.
Oh, you almost had it there. Sounds like you got it. Oh, looks like we're gonna try to redo Skype one more time. But man, I'll tell you, you guys want to talk about one more great match throughout that night. It was obviously that fucking cage match with Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks, and I'm gonna kill a little time here. Hoping to get Smark back as a loud car is driving behind my house here. But that match right there, listen, I may not be the biggest fan of the Young Bucks, but dude, that match they put on with the Lucha Brothers was ridiculous. I mean, they were trying to rip their masks off and all this stuff. It was just every moment of that match was awesome. Phoenix going off the top of the cage. Just everything I saw in that match was damn near perfection. You know, Smark was talking about, you know, almost unanimously, people are loving we're loving the pay-per-view. Like I said, I've heard a few people talk a little smack about it, but what are you going to do? Everybody, you can't please everybody. But man, that match right there was something else to watch. That was just entertaining from start to finish. Another match that told an incredible story in the ring, in the cage. But we had Brandon Cutler a little bit. The Bucks pulled out the shoe with the thumbtacks glued to the bottom. The $10,000 shoe, and now you're putting glue on it. I guess it lost its value anyway. But really, just really cool stuff right there. Watching that whole match, it was just like I said, from start to finish. The match was just intense and incredible. And we did get new champions in the Lucha Brothers, which I'm pretty happy about. I really am. I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest. We got the MJF versus Chris Jericho match. MJF really kind of gave us the, I guess you could say he spoofed the Y2J entrance a little bit. More than a little bit. He did the whole countdown thing, and I think we all thought Jericho was coming down, but no, it wasn't. It was MJF being his dickish self, and just another. Listen, this wasn't an incredible fucking match, but I found it to be a very entertaining match. Again, I don't think it needed to have the stipulation where Jericho would, if Jericho loses, he's not going to wrestle in AEW anymore. I don't think that was necessary. I think you really telegraphed a little bit of what was going to happen at that point. But, I mean, what are you going to do? I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do at this point. I'm still waiting on Smark to hop on back in here, by the way. I know he'll be back in here in a minute or two. I hope he will be. I hope he gets it figured out over there. But, we'll get him back here. But before that, I guess we can go ahead. After that match, we had the CM Punk versus Darby Allin. Whew. Man, I got to tell you, not just were the matches great, but the crowd for every match on this show was spot on. They were hot. They were into it. They were just tons of fight forever chants, and this is awesome, and holy shit chants. Great crowd throughout the whole night in Chicago. And, of course, for this one, CM Punk versus Darby Allin. I know with the little arm drag and everything, it was kind of a little shout-out to Bret Hart. And I did know. I saw the video before I saw the pay-per-view, so I saw it, so I knew what to look for. Pretty cool either way. Waltman was the other person in that match with Bret Hart and Sean Waltman, and he did thank Punk and Darby Allin for doing that. Thought it was pretty cool and kind of touched him a little bit, but that was pretty good. But this match here, man, I mean, it was just, again, I'm not going to say this was a fucking 5-star banger of a match, but Punk hasn't lost a step, really. He looked as if he was trying to go a little bit slow just to kind of sell the story, but couldn't slow down too much. But it's just an incredible, just a great thing to see CM Punk back in the ring and doing his thing again, man. And I mean, even tonight he jumped up on the rope and said, "I'm back, motherfuckers." So he's fucking back, obviously. Did anybody watch Paul White versus QT Marshall? Did anybody? Anybody give a shit? Maybe? No, I didn't either. I got to be honest with you. I fast-forwarded through it. Big Show won. That's fine. Or, I'm sorry, Paul White. I just didn't. I didn't care. I didn't care. I thought this was a really strange place to put this match, to be honest with you. Really strange place to put this match. I mean, the crowd was so hot after CM Punk and Darby Allin, and then you throw this fucking cooler in there. And I'm sorry, in my opinion, this match was a cooler of a match. So, we got Kenny Omega out there after that with Christian Cage. this was another good match. I'm definitely not going to say, like I said, it wasn't a bad match on the show. Some really cool moves in this match, though. That one winged angel from the top rope was pretty goddamn cool. Reverse DDT at one point. Tons of V triggers in this match, but really just a very competitive match between the two guys. Like I said, it wasn't incredible. It wasn't great, but I've always been a fan of Christian. I like Christian. So I think this match came off very well and was damn good. But this match ends, and we get Kenny Omega. He's out there talking all this smack. Oh, there's no one in this company on my level, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, we get Adam Cole out there. Cole comes out, and they're all kind of like, hey, wait, calm down. But before that, we had, Lucha Express, Jurassic Express come out there. Because at one point they were all beaten down Christian. Jurassic Express comes out, so they're all in the ring. They all get attacked. And then next thing you know, we got Adam Cole coming out. And, Omega and the Elite all attack Cage after that. And then Bryan Danielson basically comes on down to kind of even the odds, if you will. And it was really, really cool to see him. And I mean, everyone else is coming down and all these awesome T-shirts. And what do we get? Bryan comes down with plain white, dry fit shirt on. Just completely, Bryan Danielson. It's just him. Just, yeah, you and your nice T-shirts can go do what you want. Personally, I don't know. No big deal. But hopefully we're getting Smark back here. I see he's active in the old chat room there. So hopefully we'll get him back. But like I said, I thought this pay-per-view was absolutely just a really good pay-per-view, barring that one match, which I didn't even bother watching. But, maybe if I had watched it, it might have been even a worse pay-per-view. I just decided to go through it and not even bother with it. So why not? But yeah, this was awesome. I mean, it's been highly talked about, obviously, with, Adam Cole coming in. Now you got Punk, you got Cole, you got Bryan Danielson, even with someone like Ruby Soho coming in, formerly Ruby Riott. It's pretty cool to see a lot of these people coming in. And I got to tell you, man, the roster on this fucking show for this company is definitely building to a fucking really, really high level. To the point where even Mick Foley is saying, WWE, you might have a little problem here. Let me see. I think I've got that audio. Let me kill time, try to get old Smark back here. Let's see here. Here we go. I do have the audio. Give me just a second. I'll get that pulled up. Like I said, the internet here tonight is not doing very good. So don't know. That could be why Smark is cutting out. I'm not 100% sure. But give me a second here and I'll get that audio pulled up. Maybe. I don't think it's going to pull up, to be honest with you. Shit. Just like a computer. Just like my computer. Anyway, he titled the video, WWE, We've Got a Problem. It says, hello, this is hardcore legend Mick Foley. I'd like to title this video, WWE, We've Got a Problem, because I think you do. And that problem is that WWE is no longer the place for talent to aspire to, Foley began. Part of it is because AEW is doing a great job of attracting great talent, proven talent, building other talent, creating storylines. But part of it is a problem of your own making. I think younger talent sees the way that developmental characters are cut or left by the wayside. Or, in the case of Karrion Kross, greatly watered down and even made a joke of when they debut on the main roster. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If it was an aspiring talent, or if I was an aspiring talent now, big league talent with a major decision to make, I'm not sure that I would trust WWE Creative to do the right thing with my career. You guys did wonders with me back in the day. That was a different time, different place. If it was today, I'm not sure I would trust the powers that be with my career in their hands. And until that changes, WWE, you've got a problem. When a basically company man like Mick Foley, who, I mean, he went over to TNA, Impact or TNA, whatever you want to call it, and did some stuff over there. That's fine. That was fine. He said he even told Vince he was going. No one cared. But when a company man like Mick Foley is saying things like this, I don't know, man. I think that speaks volumes right there. I really do. And I think that the fact that you have people like, I'm sure the guys he's talking about, is an Adam Cole, is a Bryan Danielson, is a CM Punk. When you have talent like that are willing to leave the, finger quotes, big money company and go to AEW, this startup company, and then, it really says a lot about what AEW is doing compared to what WWE kind of just holds its course. SOS, it's the same old shit with WWE, and it seems like people are really starting to figure it out. Like I said, man, Adam Cole, rumor went around he was offered $1 million to come stay in WWE, make his debut on SmackDown, blah, blah. Well, maybe he didn't trust the powers that be, like Mick Foley said. Maybe he didn't trust him to do right with his career. I just don't know. I mean, Bryan Danielson obviously that's something he's been kind of saying a long time now, is that he just doesn't trust creative. So, now you got him over there at AEW. You got CM Punk, which, I mean, God, let's face it, not many of us thought he was ever coming back to wrestling. I sure as hell didn't. I didn't think he needed it. But it's great to see him back. He looks like he has got a fire lit under him again for the wrestling business and the love of wrestling, which I don't think anyone thought was possible with CM Punk. I mean, he literally was talking about the business like he couldn't stand it anymore for a while there. Like, really, talking like he hated the business at this point. And next thing you know, he's back. And like I said, I mean, he jumped on the goddamn ropes tonight. And I'm back, motherfuckers. So he just looks completely invigorated, like he's got a whole new fire lit in his belly, if you will. Yeah, I mean, like I said, just when you've got Mick Foley out there saying something like that, that should say something to everybody. It really should. I got a little clip here of Daniel Bryan. I'm going to go ahead and play. Hopefully get Smark back on here. I don't know if... looks like he's still here. I'm going to play this audio. About 2.5 minutes. It's Bryan Danielson speaking after All Out went off the air, and just kind of talking, letting us know a few things and why he came here and all that good stuff. Here we go. Well, helping him unmute.
There's a couple reasons why. One, the incredible talent that's here in AEW. I think Christian would say the same thing. But one of the reasons why it makes it so appealing to come to AEW is because of the work these men have done for the last 4 years. It's because of the people who have been here since day one, from the people who came here early and believed in AEW. I'm talking about Chris Jericho, who came here from day one. I'm talking about John Moxley, who came here. I'm talking about young men and women who were busting their asses on the independent circuit. The AEW gave them a chance, and boy, have these guys delivered! Wrestler. I never left wrestling I took wrestling wherever I went. I said wrestling when I wasn't supposed to say wrestling. And now I am here to goddamn wrestle. There are some people around here who call themselves elite. I'm going to be here to see if they truly are. The second reason I came here is because, goddamn, you guys are the best fans in the world!
All right, take 3.
Yep.
Sounding better.
No, we shall see. I don't know.
No, sounding really good right now. Sounding perfect.
All right. Well,
All
there
right.
we go, I guess.
There we go. Whatever you did good. All right, Smark, I kind of trailed a little bit through All Out there. Played a little. Well, I didn't play the Mick Foley audio. I had to read it because my computer wouldn't pull it up. And why don't you give some thoughts on All Out real quick, man?
Sure. Yeah, like I said, it was pretty surprising because there really wasn't anything I think that they could have done that could have made it better. Like there's really nothing that they could have, they didn't fuck anything up. Everything that we kind of thought might happen did happen, but they did it in a way that actually felt different and exciting. It wasn't like super predictable. Every match from top to bottom, I think, was a good match. We did talk about a little bit, or you talked about a little bit, the QT Marshall Big Show match. Like, we already knew coming in it was kind of a waste of time. I feel like if they wouldn't have had that in, like, the show would have somehow been even better if they just didn't include that match, but it is what it is.
Right.
I was seeing people talking about, and I thought it was kind of the match that stole the show, but the cage match, some people are calling it like the best cage match they've ever seen. So it's like, it's pretty lofty praise, but just universally, it was a pretty beloved pay-per-view. Like you said, there's obviously going to be the people who are just normally detractors. This is what they do. But I think anybody who had any sort of unbiased expectations going into it, I feel like everybody got their money's worth. Everybody enjoyed the show quite a bit.
Yeah, most definitely. And I definitely, that cage match was fucking great, man. Loved every minute of it. But, again, the surprises that we got, Smark, were amazing. I don't know, man. It's like this pay-per-view just kept giving everything we were hoping we want. It just kept giving and giving and giving, and we were definitely there to fucking take it.
Yeah, it's funny because it made me realize that they're starting to kind of spoil me as a fan, because I kind of felt like an entitled piece of shit after watching it, because like within the first hour they announced that they were doing the Andrade Pac match on Rampage. I was like, oh great, it's gonna last for 10 minutes. So I was like, I was upset. But meanwhile, they have like all these cool surprises planned. I'm sitting there like throwing a little mini temper tantrum that the match I wanted to see is getting postponed to Friday night instead of on the show. But other than that, honestly, that was really the only gripe that I had with it. Everything else was pretty great.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I definitely thought it was too. And I just, I don't know if you heard any of that audio I was playing there from Daniel Bryan. Basically just coming out and, I mean, I don't know if you heard what I said, what Mick Foley had said. Just, when you've got this much talent that are willing to take less to do more.
Right.
It's telling. It's very telling. And I mean, that's basically, Daniel Bryan was almost saying the same thing. I didn't care. I'm a fucking wrestler. I don't want to be a sports entertainer. I want to come in here and I want to fucking wrestle. And,
right.
That's what I want to do. And, he's in the ring with Luchasaurus and Christian and Jungle Boy and all them. And, I mean, dude, that roster is fucking shaping up, man. They've got fucking Moxley. They've got Omega. No matter what you think about Omega, he does have fucking great matches. Young Bucks, I may not be the biggest fan, but I know they're fucking a good tag team. Now they've got even more young, aggressive fucking talent out there. I don't know, man. Someone's becoming a contender.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a bit of a turning point. Like it's going to be all about keeping the momentum going forward. But it seems like that was definitely a moment where you can kind of plant your flag on it and just sort of, you could notice a shift that's changing, I think. I read the Foley thing and I heard the whole duration of the little post-match speech that he gave, or the speech that Brian gave after the show. It was actually pretty interesting because he did say that he liked being there. He was happy there. He didn't necessarily want to leave, but he just felt like he didn't have any other choice. Like he couldn't pass up on an opportunity like this, which is interesting in and of itself because it's a whole different narrative than the narrative that we got with three of the other people that we were seeing and we were talking about. With Punk, obviously, he definitely had an axe to grind. Everyone knew that. With the Adam Cole thing, he didn't want to give up his Twitch, so that was a bone of contention there. Ruby wasn't being used. So, it's an entirely different narrative with Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson for the sake of they liked him, they were using him, he was happy there. It wasn't somebody who was perceived as, they couldn't make it there or that, whatever, they were a failure there. They were obviously a success. He was a success there. He had creative control there. He was, being involved in booking there too. So he gave up a lot, and he gave up a lot of money and a lot of just responsibilities that he had earned while being there to pursue, to be a part of this hot company. And, as he was saying, it was the fans that helped to build that up, and it was the roster itself. He's already joining something that's dynamic. He's not showing up there to try to make, that was a very important in the wording too, I think, was he was saying that he was joining this hot thing. He wasn't coming to make this thing hot.
Right. Yeah, most definitely. And, it was kind of, I forgot what I was going to say. So
it happens.
Yeah, I'm so not with it tonight. I apologize to everybody. I'm actually having some bad stomach pains right now. Smark can probably see me wincing in pain.
Yeah,
I'll be fine. I'll live. We'll make it through the show. But yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just great to see all these guys. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Like I said, I mean, I don't know what AEW's contracts look like. I have no clue. Neither do you. None of us really do. But I'm assuming they're probably taking a little bit less to do more, which is kind of what you do. If you love the business, that's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a worthy sacrifice for a lot of people, I think, to be able to be somewhere where you're happy or to be somewhere that you're allowed to have more artistic freedom. If those are things that you care about, everybody's priorities are different, but it seems like they're giving people a platform where they can actually be the characters they want to be, tell the stories they want to tell. They're not as restricted.
Right. Exactly. And I don't know, man, but it's just, I really feel like, and you're right, it did feel kind of like a turning point. No, WWE is not fucking closing down or gonna, no. But when their answer to shit is like, hey, look who they got. Let's bring in Goldberg.
Right.
What?
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. They're not in any at all danger, at least in the very immediate future, and maybe even the next couple of years of having anything bad happen to them. They're going to be perfectly fine. They've got big television deals and all of that.
Right.
But if this definitely makes AEW feel like, if it didn't before, feel like a genuine competitor. Like
right.
This is, they have the kind of hype. If you want to look at things back in the day, they have the kind of hype that ECW has behind them, but they have the budget that WCW has. Oh. So it's like they're a viable option.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people doing that ECW comparison, and you know what? It's not wrong, man. These fans are becoming rabid AEW fans, and there's nothing wrong with it, man. Not a goddamn thing wrong with it. I'm loving it, actually. Brian Danielson, even JR made sure tonight. As soon as he walked out, he went, Brian Danielson. Yeah. JR didn't want to fuck that up again.
And I will say that pay-per-view for sure highlighted the significance of Jim Ross, because I don't think anybody could have made that moment feel as good as he did, or feel as significant or as important as he did. Like all of those big damn debuts, he sold the shit out of them, and he showed exactly why he's there.
Well, and the Adam Cole thing was so fucking smart what they did. They hit the lights. Next thing you know, his name is up there on the fucking screen. So we didn't have to sit there and go, whose music is that? It sounds new. No, we knew right away Adam Cole was fucking coming out to start some shit, and that's what he did. So, but you're right, man. JR, I mean, look, he called Paul White Big Show. Yeah, I just fucking did too. He called these guys matches for a long time and had a name in his mind. I mean, let's not. Can we leave poor JR alone? Please?
Yes.
The JR hate is too much, people. It's just wrong.
Yeah, it definitely is. Not only that, but it's just, I think it's people who might not have seen him at the height of his powers and just see him now. And it's like, oh, well, he doesn't know what this move is, or he doesn't know the history of this person, like what they did in Beyond Wrestling. It's like, I barely know what these fuckers did on Beyond Wrestling. Like, give them a break.
Jesus Christ. You know what? Stop watching AEW Dark and go listen to some fucking Jim Ross. On YouTube. Yes, sons of bitches. JR is a fucking man. Salty JR is a better fucking man. Let's just get it out there, Smark. So anyway. Any more on All Out there?
I mean, I don't really think so. I mean, like just like I said, from top to bottom, it was a great show. It seems like it definitely does seem like a turning point. It was cool to see like everybody be so positive about a show. You know what I mean? Like it was just very nice. It was very nice to see that.
Yeah, it kind of was. It really was. It was very nice to actually see people praising his show and not being, the fuck, you like that bullshit? Oh, come on, man. No. This was a great show, great surprises, great everything. And you know what? They were saying, All Out, stay tuned, you're going to see some shit. But I guess kind of while we're talking about the whole, AEW acquiring talent that is passed on WWE, CM Punk has a article up here in Forbes that I was reading earlier, and basically it was with ESPN, the interview. It's just up here on Forbes, and basically he said WWE, he was talking to him. There were discussions between him and them, but they played games. He said, and I quote, "I remember one of the first things I ever said to them was, above all, don't play games." And they played games, said Punk. Some things never change. When you enter a conversation with people you have a past with and you know who they are, how seriously can you take it? I know exactly who they are, and they just continue to prove it. I'm trying to be as diplomatic as I possibly can. Attaboy, Smark. I heard that. Diplomatic, huh? Is that what he meant?
Indeed, I believe so.
Well, listen, it's definitely interesting to know he did have talks with WWE again. I'm kind of thinking that was probably during the Fox deal, and I'm also kind of thinking that's why he just kind of up and left that deal.
Right.
Maybe not, because I know at one point he just wasn't on the show anymore, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, for whatever people were expecting that show to do really big numbers, and I think the first week or two it did, then it kind of progressively tapered off.
Right.
Because I think people were still seeing that even though he was kind of his own person, there was kind of a limit to that. Like at the end of the day, regardless, the show was still out there to shill, SmackDown. So he wasn't really going to get a lot of opportunities to openly express how he felt about everything. And, people didn't want half truths or, shine being put on something, being lied to, exaggerated, whatever.
Yeah, I kind of wish he had exaggerated on what games they were playing. I mean, I'm sure you can imagine what they were doing. I'm sure, and especially with a guy that walked out on him like that, they were trying to, Jesus, like what's his name said in Draft Day, fleece him.
Mm-hmm.
Fleece him. He's coming back to us. Fleece him. All right.
Which, I mean, I will say on his end, I give him credit for being smart enough not to buy well, you're going to get a big push and we're going to give you this and we're going to give you that, because unfortunately there are some people who, as this was beginning to go on the AEW WWE thing, they fell for that kind of promises, and they were not given those kind of promises. There were a couple of people that they contracts expired early on into the game when AEW and Dynamite was just starting to happen, that signed on theoretically based on the promise of bigger things around around the bend in the future, and they just never delivered them, and we don't really see some of those people on TV anymore.
No, because after they're done and they fuck with you, they spit you out and release you.
Mm-hmm.
Zack Ryder.
Yep.
Raise your hand, Zack Ryder.
That's it.
Matt Cardona. Who no longer GCW champion, Smark, from what I heard.
That's it. Yeah, they did it's pretty interesting. They had a lot of shows this weekend. They did a Thursday show, Friday show, and a Saturday show. The Saturday show was War Games. They called it the Art of War Games because they can't call it War Games because, lawyers and such.
Right.
But they had a War Games match. That was pretty cool. After that, the cage was still up. The double cages were both still in the ring. Matt Cardona came out. He put out an open challenge. Frank the Clown showed up, which that was a thing. So they basically did the whole finger poke of doom thing. He laid down for him, easy win. So Cardona's celebrating and whatnot. It was kind of a weird segment because G Raver comes out. G Raver has his druids, like the Undertaker did.
Right.
Just people in black robes.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what the point of it was, because he shows up with these druids. Cardona starts beating up the druids. G Raver just leaves. He doesn't challenge him for the belt, doesn't cut a promo, he just disappears. I have no idea why he was out there in the first place then. So, of course, one of the druids is just kind of stalking him, Matt Cardona, behind his back, and he's doing this little kind of taunts and poses and implications as to who it might be, and the crowd's already going nuts. He hits the DDT, crowd goes apeshit, takes off the druid helmet, of course, not helmet, but mask. It's Moxley. People lose their fucking minds. He pins him, 1, 2, 3, it's over. So you have a new GCW World Champion in one John Moxley, and before the show even went off the air, they announced in October it's going to be Gage versus Moxley for the belt. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
That will be damn good right there. Let me guess. Moxley was back there cracking his neck.
I got to give the crowd credit, though, because at first the only thing he did was just put his head on the turnbuckle, like he does when he puts his head on turnbuckle and just kind of crouches down a little bit. And people, that was enough for half the crowd to lose their minds, because I didn't even make that connection. Jesus.
Well, they're another group of rabid fans, those GCW fans too.
Oh, it was packed. I have not seen it. I've watched the majority of GCW shows over the last 2 or 3 years, and I have not seen a crowd like that, because they were running in Chicago too.
Wow.
All 3 nights they were running Hoffman Estates, so it was, I guess, kind of just outside of Chicago. It was more of a suburb, but
nice. Oh shit. Very good. Yeah, man. Good stuff for GCW. They're out there fucking doing damn good too, man. They're becoming another alternative if you're an indie guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some good shit going on out there.
They had a guy on one of their shows. There was a Friday show. They did a show in conjunction with Black Label Pro, which is a show indie that runs out of Indiana primarily. But they had a guy on there. His name's Action Mike Jackson. He is 72 years old. And he did a fucking suicide dive. I could not believe it. This motherfucker moves, without exaggeration, 2 or 3 times as well as Goldberg does.
Oh, shit. Oh. If I'm going to go, I'm going out flying. Okay.
He was moving, too. This motherfucker could go. It wasn't even a novelty or a sympathy charity type of situation. That motherfucker was in better shape than the majority of the people on that roster, on that show, in the crowd, however you want to put it. That fucker could go, man.
Might have to check that out. Might need to check that out. So, and speaking of indie Smark, I guess we can jump into this real quick. Booker T put out some breaking news today. He said, "I am proud to announce that the official ROW, which is his reality of wrestling promotion, will be returning It says returning to television nationwide in nearly 50 markets. Check out this press release, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it looks like they're going to start like very soon this month. They are going to be starting to air. Doesn't say what channels yet, but that's going to be announced next week. So maybe we'll get into that next week. But damn good for Reality of Wrestling and Booker T.
Mm-hmm.
So just figured I'd throw that out there. Again, man, we're getting a lot of wrestling on television. And I mean, I don't know what stations this could come on. It could come on friggin' Lifetime at 2 a.m. for all I know.
That'd be pretty awesome. I'd be down for that.
Little Golden Girls, little Reality of Wrestling.
I actually got a link for that. What I was talking about, this Action Mac Jackson guy, I posted in the Mixler here. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shows that are on right now. I get Ring of Honor like a couple of times a weekend on my local Sinclair channel. MLW is on Vice now. I don't have Vice anymore, so I don't know to what extent that is, but they have a deal there. There's all kinds of different promotions running on TV at the moment. It's a good time for all kinds of promotions out there.
Yeah, you really can find. I mean, if you don't want to watch WWE, there's plenty to find out there, especially like you said, if you've got Pluto, if you've got Hulu, everything. Right now, you can find other alternatives. And I mean, AEW right now is like we've been saying, it's definitely becoming a hell of an alternative. Let's see here. What else can we get into? I'm just trying to make sure we don't have any more with like AEW or anything like that. I don't think until we get to AEW. Don't think we do.
There's a slight. I don't know.
Go ahead.
How we want to look at it, but two quick things, actually. First thing, we were talking about the Bryan Danielson debut. Per Dave Meltzer, AEW was unable to secure the rights to the Final Countdown by Europe for Bryan Danielson. That was the theme he used on the Indies. Mm-hmm. He says even for Tony Khan, it was cost prohibitive to license the song, so they commissioned a new theme for Danielson.
Probably good. That must mean they were going to charge a shitload of money for that song.
Apparently. Yeah, it's very interesting because I've seen that song used in like video games and shit, and it seemed like it wasn't. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like it'd be comparable. You know what I mean? Comparable, because it doesn't seem like they would like gouge video game companies or whatever. I mean, it's licensing is licensing, but it's interesting. I guess I don't know. They must have wanted a lot of money.
Yeah, and I mean the song they commissioned was obviously kind of a what would you call this? It was kind of an offshoot of the what is that? Flight of the
Valkyries.
Valkyries. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it was kind of it sounded enough like it when you first heard the beginning. You knew who it was immediately.
Mm-hmm. It was an interesting debate anyway, because I would have remembered it, if they were to use the Final Countdown, but also he hasn't been on the indies for fucking over a decade at this point. So for some of the newer fans, like, I don't know if they would have made that connection. Like, a lot of the old heads would have, I would have, but like, I'm not sure that, people who followed him in WWE that have heard the rumors that he might be coming in, I don't know if the pop would have been the same. Like you said, the sort of knockoff or reimagined version of Flight of the Valkyries that they used. It was enough to get a pop. Everybody knew who it was. There was no doubt. There was a big cheer. Everybody loved it.
They should have just got the Mighty Mouse music.
That's a way to go.
That would have been just as awesome. Just as awesome. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I think it was probably the better thing to do. Him just coming off of WWE. That theme is stuck in people's heads at this point. Like I said, you heard two fucking notes, and you're like, oh shit, look who's coming out. You knew.
Mm-hmm.
You knew. So I think it might have actually maybe a blessing in disguise, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah, I definitely do too. Most definitely. So you had something else too.
Yes. It's not necessarily directly related to AEW, but the way things work now, the rumors have basically cleared. All the big name potential signings have signed. So right now we're down to just potentially Bray Wyatt, who may come, may not come. It seems like there's a new story about that every couple of days. But this is from Sean Ross Sapp. Breaking news: Fightful Select has learned Kevin Owens' WWE contract is up much sooner than expected. So apparently it's going to expire January 2022. On Monday, there was a little bit of a buzz being generated. He had tweeted out the coordinates and then quickly deleted the tweet to Mount Rushmore. The Mount Rushmore reference being that in PWG, the group with him, Young Bucks, and Adam Cole were referred to as the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. So the internet was aflutter with rumors.
Oh, I'm sure they were. He'd be another great guy to get over there, man. At this point, right now, with everything going on, would not be a bad guy to get over there. But, like you said, it's still January 2022, which isn't that far away. I mean, we're almost mid-September at this point.
Yeah, it'll be here sooner than you think. There's also a rumor that Sami Zayn's contract is going to be expiring around the same time, so we might be in for another round of just fucking insanity, I guess.
Boy, I'm not sure I need to see that again. Okay, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not necessarily proposing that they feud again, but, they're both of them on their own would be very solid additions to that roster.
Absolutely. I don't know, man. And Sammy, I'm not sure Sammy would be the one of them to move. They've actually done well with him.
I always kind of thought it would be the opposite. Huh. Like, I felt like Owens would stay there, and I felt like Sammy would be wanting to leave because he just seems like the kind of person who just likes starting shit. I don't know. Yeah, but it seems like he's kind of a bit like, it seems like his character is not too far off from how he's perceived backstage. If I were to wager a guess, as like he's probably not the most easygoing person, and I feel like he's probably ruffled a couple of feathers along the way.
Just a smart ass Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but I don't know, man. I think he'd be a good one to get over there. But like I said, they've done pretty well with Sami Zayn over there. They've kind of given him a little bit of. I mean, if they're writing those promos for Sammy, then there's one good writer in the bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who that is. Let them write everything. How's that? But I don't know, man. Owens, I could see he's been there longer, I believe, than Sammy. So.
Yeah. Actually, I think it might be the other way around.
Is it?
Yeah, I could be wrong. I'm going to look. I mean, they were pretty much about the same time. But I remember it seems like it was forever ago that it was him and Cesaro on NXT wrestling. Look this up real quick here, but we'll see. Just in the meantime, I guess we could talk about other things, though.
Yeah, I'll jump into something else real quick while we're doing that. You know what? We'll jump into something real quick while we're doing that. And I guess what we could call that is, any of you fans of ABC's Dancing with the Stars, The Miz is officially going to be on the show. That's right. Starting September 20th, The Miz will be one of the people on that show. Okay, let's see. The Miz joins the following celebrities for this season: country music singer Jimmy Allen, Spice Girl Melanie C, reality TV star and philanthropist Christine Chu, don't know who she is, actress Melora Hardin, YouTuber and influencer Olivia Jade, reality TV star Matt James of The Bachelor, former Broadway dancer and talk show host Amanda Klutz, actor Martin Kove, Olympic gymnast Suni Lee, reality star and Miss USA 1992 Kenya Moore, and the former pro dancer and Peloton instructor, Cody Rigsby, actor Brian Austin Green.
Oh, my.
David? Okay. Actress and YouTuber JoJo Siwa, I'm not sure. And NBA player Iman Shumpert. Close enough? Amon
Shumpert, yeah. It was close enough. I mean, he played for the Cavs, so fuck him. But
I don't know who half these people are, and at this point, I feel like an old man.
I would say more so. Well, I don't know. Like on one hand, the sort of avenues that make celebrities nowadays are different than the ones that we're used to. But I also think that they're running on like what fucking season is it now? At some point, you're starting to just reach the bottom of the barrel. Like one of the people you listed was a Peloton instructor. Like I didn't realize that they had that kind of pull or influence that like Peloton instructors are celebrities these days.
Well, former pro dancer and Peloton instructor. Cody.
I was actually thinking about that earlier because they showed a shit ton, at least on on my television, wink wink, shit ton of ads during AEW for Peloton. And I was kind of thinking about it. It's weird that they've sort of like created their own little like workout cult, but it's like it's this whole thing of like they integrated the oh god, I sound like such a douche saying this, but they integrated the social element into it. So it's like like oh, keep up with your friends and what they're doing, and how long they fucking rode their bicycle for, and it's stupid, but it's profitable. They're making money.
It's like a Facebook workout. I mean, yeah, you can keep up with everybody on there and do all kinds of shit and make fun of people who don't ride as much as you, I guess. I don't know. But my mom will be watching. She loves this show. I will not be. But you, Smark, you gonna jump on, watch the Dancing with the Stars?
Not even slightly. Not even slightly.
All right. Well, for all you fans out there, don't forget to catch The Miz and a bunch of other people who I don't know.
All your favorite TikTokers will be on Dancing with the Stars.
I know who Olivia Jade is.
I don't.
I think, isn't she the daughter of the lady that just went to jail from Fuller House? Aunt Becky, isn't she Becky's daughter?
Oh,
yes, that is Lori Laughlin's daughter. Okay, okay, so that's who that is. I was right on that one, so I knew who that was. The Olympic gymnast, I've heard of her because the Olympics was just she was a medal winner there. Don't know who that is. Brian Austin Green, I know who that one is. And this JoJo, I've heard of her just because she's been changing her sexuality lately and the internet has to post it.
Well, of course.
That's about it.
So from that graceful moment to another segue here to tie up the loose ends. January 2013 for Sammy, August 2014 for Owens.
Okay, so Sammy has been there longer, about a year longer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. No problem. Calm down.
There would inevitably be somebody, theoretically at least, that would be like, well, are you going to fucking answer who was there longer or not?
Well, yeah, you got a point there. Fuck it. Of course you would. Goddamn chat room. Anyway.
Happy birthday, by the way, Dirk. It was his birthday Monday.
That's right. Happy birthday, Dirk. And just in case you want to go to Walmart and get something for your birthday, Dirk, that's right. Go to Walmart and get you a WWE garbage pail figure.
Is this based on the the other garbage pail figures?
Yes, except they have become very watered down with the names. Remember before it was like Gross George or something like that, and now it's they have one of Savage Randy. Obviously a Randy Savage one, which is kind of cool. Gigantic Andre. Unraveled Warrior for Ultimate Warrior. And of course, you got to have a Steve Austin. Seething Steve. These are all about $16.96. So if you want to go out there to Walmart and buy some of those, definitely go check them out. They're kind of cool looking. They kind of got a little Funko Pop look to them. But they're figures. The one with Randy, he's jumping through a brick wall. The one with Andre, I can't really see. Warrior has the crazy light up wall behind him. And Steve Austin has what looks to be a crushed can of what could be beer, looks more like apple juice coming out of it. Seething Steve, of course.
Well, yes, but I mean, I don't think they want to mention the fact that he's seething because the roast is burnt.
Ah, there. And there you go. So if you guys want to check out Walmart for those, enjoy yourself. I'm sure you can find them online too somewhere.
The sequel to that will be Disabled Deborah.
Well, speaking of sequels and movies, Smark, perfect segue into this right here. Guys, if you are looking for a new horror movie to watch and you've got Netflix and you're going to be sitting around on October 5th, oh, definitely what you want to be doing is checking out Netflix because there is a new movie out called Escape the Undertaker. It's an interactive horror movie coming to Netflix just in time for Halloween. This flick stars the legendary Undertaker along with Big E, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston. Obviously, we know they're the New Day. This film sees the trio visit Undertaker's mansion, which turns out to be an extreme haunted house, packed to the brim with supernatural challenges. According to Bloody Disgusting, you'll decide the fate of the New Day as the group tries to survive the wrath of the Undertaker. What do you think of that?
Well, let's get the obvious joke out of the way. How are they all going to die first?
It'll be up to an audience, luckily, so you won't be able to blame anyone.
I see.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just thought this was weird. I might have to check it out. I do have a movie show. We might need to do this.
I'm going to check it out. Like, it seems like, I don't know, it's got the potential to be kind of fun. I'm worried that it's going to be just like super, well, even if it is super cheesy, that might also make it fun or interesting. So I'm gonna be willing to give it a try. We'll see about that. They've done a couple of things like that on Netflix before. The interactive movies. They did one with Black Mirror. They had their own spin-off movie where you decide the outcome. I fucked around with that before. It's kind of fun. Just like a sort of a modern take on those old choose your own adventure books.
Kind of like Life Selector. I think that's a different one than what you were thinking of.
I know they have one where it's like survival. It's like a survival movie, and you're supposed to, or documentary, however the fuck they want to phrase it as. But you're like, well, what would you do in this situation? And then it's up to you to decide. I don't know how any of that played out because I didn't bother with it, but I knew it's been out there.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't bother with it either, which is probably a good thing. So, got a few more little things to get into. Smark. Yeah, let's get into this one real quick. I guess before we do anything, WWE put out a statement today, an official statement, talking about Triple H, saying that he has had a cardiac event. He was taken care of at the Yale New Haven Hospital, and the statement says Paul Levesque, a.k.a. Triple H, underwent a successful procedure last week at Yale New Haven Hospital following a cardiac event. The episode was caused by a genetic heart issue, and Paul is expected to make a full recovery. Wow. Cardiac event. That's vague. Genetic heart issue is even more vague. This is a vague one, but I guess it looks like this was last week. I believe they would have told us if there was anything going on. He is expected to make a full recovery, so I guess he's doing well. But, man, kind of weird, man, hearing this. I mean, first of all, I'd like to know what kind of cardiac event. I mean, a cardiac event could be anything from a fucking heart attack to, just normal palpitations or an anxiety attack.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the jokes kind of write themselves with just all of the talk of Vince taking over NXT and him being in the doghouse and all of that kind of situations. It seems like things have been kind of stressful for him lately. If what we read is to be believed.
Yes, if what we read is to be believed, I do agree with that. So, I don't know. Just glad he's doing well, and man, I don't know. Get better, Triple H. You're too young, brother. Don't start this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't start this shit, motherfucker. So, There we go. I just wanted to mention that because it was kind of going around today. Smark, you got one more little one here on with Moxley in it.
Sure, I'll go ahead and bring that one up here. He had, of course, AEW was in Cincinnati, so he was doing sort of a media scrum, if you want to call it that. He had talked to Cincy 360, I believe it was. This is from Fightful, so kind of go down the rabbit hole of paraphrasing. But yeah, speaking on Cincinnati 360, Moxley discussed the growth of AEW and how he's now taking his victory lap. Quote, "It's cool," he said about the new additions. All right, that's it. No, anyways, quote, "It's crazy to see when this was all just an idea a few years ago, Tony Khan sitting at my kitchen table and being like, we're going to have real TV and real touring. Really? It seemed almost unrealistic to take a gamble to come out here and be like, if you guys are doing that, I want to be a part of it. Maybe we'll fall flat on our face and we'll all look stupid and this will be a big disaster, but if it's successful, it would really be cool because that's what wrestling needs. Looking at it 2.5 years later, I don't think we could have imagined it going any better. I've talked a lot of crap about what I think sucks in wrestling. I think characters should be authentic. I don't like hokey crap or scripts and writers. I'll never read a script for the rest of my life. Bet your ass on that. So no more Marine sequels, I guess. A guy like Eddie Kingston is Eddie Kingston 24/7. He finishes a cigarette, walks into the building, and it's the same guy. I'm betting he smokes Newports. There is no put-on character going on here. That's what wrestling should be, letting guys be themselves and having their own creativity, whether they are Orange Cassidy or a crazy high-flying team like the Young Bucks who think up the most ridiculous and action-packed sequences. No one is trying to tone each other down or say that's too much. Vince McMahon would watch a lot of AEW matches and say, that's garbage. They're not selling. Slow it down, pal. It's crap. Blood and guts or whatever, but he wouldn't be paying attention to the 15,000 people going nuts. I feel vindicated. I said a lot about how I felt wrestling should be. That's what AEW was going to do, and that's what we did. Now look where we are. Now I'm going to have a bit of a flex. I imagine that I can't see it because it's text, but I imagine that he did flex after that.
I could think he probably did. Now, I got to tell you, this kind of goes into what we've been talking about kind of all night with AEW, just really going out there and letting these guys do what they want, be themselves, say the shit they want to say. And, I mean, come on, you look at Eddie Kingston, I think you can tell he's not putting on a character. I mean, he's not putting on no character. Eddie Kingston looks like he's Eddie Kingston. A lot, but it does. It just kind of ties into the whole kind of the theme of the show tonight, which is just, whatever Vince McMahon thinks. Moxley says a very, very smart thing right here. Vince may say, slow it down, it's crap, blood and guts or whatever, but he wouldn't be paying attention to the 15,000 people going nuts. And he's right. Vince wouldn't even look at that. The crowd wouldn't even be in his mind. He would just look at the match and say it's shit. But these AEW fans eat it the fuck up. Mm-hmm. And if the AEW, and that's who you're selling your product to. You're not selling this product to Vince McMahon. You're selling this to your fans who are going fucking nuts in the fucking audience and on television. So
exactly.
So, I kind of see where he's at, and I like that he says he feels vindicated. He should. Gave it a shot, gave it a chance, and the company's fucking doing great now, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right, you got anything on that?
Not too much more on that individually, no.
All right. Then we'll get into one more little thing here, and then I guess we'll get into AEW and get this done for the night. Thank God, my stomach's killing me.
Well, before we get into AEW,
mm-hmm.
They put out the list today. I'll go through some of them.
Yes.
For the PWI Top 500 list. Now, I will just go ahead. I have the top 20, but I'm going to go with 10. I'm going to go from 10 down here. Number 10, we got Rich Swann. I was pretty happy to hear about that. Shingo Takagi at number 9. Finn Balor, number 8. Will Ospreay, number 7. Kind of surprising. John Moxley, number 6. Kota Ibushi, number 5. Number 4, Drew McIntyre, number 3. Bobby Lashley, number 2. The old big dog himself, Roman Reigns. And number 1, Kenny Omega.
Yeah, and I see a lot of kind of back and forth. Does Omega deserve it? Does Reigns deserve it? Does Omega deserve it? Does Reigns deserve it? Both of them have had great years this year and been fucking amazing and had great matches. But let's face it, one was the belt collector. One just has a belt.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Omega had 3 different belts, and then Ospreay unfortunately got injured shortly thereafter he won his New Japan belt. So it's kind of makes sense, I guess, that he wasn't number 1. I mean, number 7 is still kind of undervaluing him, I think, a little bit, but it is what it is on that front.
Right, yeah.
It is a little bit of a weird list because it's not top 10 or top 20 even, but they have Walter at 28 and Braun Strowman at 27. Like, I get that some of this is based on like kayfabe and shit, but even under the kayfabe realm of like looking at things, the kind of prism logic, Walter still had a belt for like 3 years, and Strowman didn't do much of shit this year. So it's like I still don't necessarily understand how you arrive at that.
Yeah, Strowman was out. He came back. He was out again. Then he got fired.
Right. Yeah, because it's Strowman. It's like Strowman 27, MJF 26, Walter 28. Like, I don't think Strowman, based on just the year he had, even from a kayfabe perspective, like the last year or so, I don't think he belongs like within that same conversation of MJF or Walter.
Yeah, that's a little odd. But I mean, let's be honest. This list it does what it's supposed to do every year. It causes a bunch of bullshit and brouhaha, and Meltzer loves it. And for Meltzer to put someone in AEW as number 1, come on, man.
Actually, that's not Meltzer. That's PWI.
Oh, PWI. I'm sorry. You're right.
And
but
Meltzer was actually pretty pissed that Ospreay wasn't number 7.
Oh, wow.
He thought Ospreay was supposed to be number 1. So I don't know why he's turning his back on his old pal Kenny Omega, but he was actually out there griping and complaining with the rest of us, which is kind of funny because it's like, I don't know. I feel like he should be above that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm over here yawning and wincing, and I apologize. Dirk asked if I was all right. I'll live, Dirk. I think I got a hold of some bad leftovers last night, and I think I might have a little food poisoning. Old green bean casserole. I should have asked my wife when she put it in there. She told me after I was done with like half of it. Like, it still tastes good. She's like, but I can't tell you what's in there. Oh, no. Okay. I don't want to know that. One more small thing before we get into AEW. We've been talking about Gable Steveson. Obviously, since the Olympics, he's been kind of making a name for himself. And it looks like he, according to reports, he has actually signed with WWE. Also says in this report that he did meet with UFC President Dana White in late August as he was weighing his options. So if reports are correct, might be seeing him in NXT in a little while. What the hell? I can't even talk tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that really comes as a surprise to anybody. They were definitely flirting with him hard, and it definitely seemed like he was receptive of that.
Right.
He kind of, went out and put a shield out there to support them, and he had that whole little back and forth with Jake Hager and shit. So it's like he's kind of always been firmly in their pocket, so it's not surprising at all.
Yeah.
It seems like that's kind of a route that they're going to plan on moving down towards too now, because they also have a tag team of former amateur wrestlers that they brought out on NXT last night. Mm-hmm. The Creed brothers, they welcomed them with arms wide open. All right, there we go. That was my joke. Since we're not talking about NXT, I had to awkwardly shoehorn that in. But I wanted to get that. I worked hard. I spent all day writing that, so I wanted to,
Thought we were about to hear a Desire video.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that's probably their real name, but they have to they cannot call them guys the Creed brothers. It's not gonna work.
That's not their real names.
Then don't fucking call them the Creed brothers.
No.
Especially when you have like, not only do you lend yourself to a bunch of different dumb Creed jokes like I just made, you also have somebody on your roster who actually does have that as their legitimate surname. So it's very weird. So just stop calling them that.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably should. But I don't know. Maybe it meant something to them. Maybe there's a reason they're calling them that. But I know that's not their real names. I forget their real names, but that's not it.
Oh man, how good of a tag like maybe not even as a tag team, maybe just as a person or maybe even as a faction. Like as a gimmick, you know those people that like are strong men or like bodybuilders that do a bunch of fucking like chopping up wooden boards and blocks and shit, like with a religious spin on it. Like everything they do for Christ, and they do all these like fucking acts of strength, and then they preach and do sermons and shit. That would be an amazing gimmick for a tag team.
Wouldn't be bad. Would not be bad, sir. That'd be pretty damn good. Look at you coming up with shit. All right, Smark. I know I feel like I've kind of rushed through some shit tonight, and I apologize, but let's get through AEW here. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Obviously, coming off the heels, I guess this would be the fallout to all out.
That's what they've been calling it, actually. Yeah.
Well, that's what they should call it, because it is the fallout to all out. And again, we already talked about that. What a hell of a show it was. This show was interesting. Let's just put it that way. Dustin Rhodes was the first match out versus Malachi Black. Wasn't great. Wasn't awful. And I'm not putting any of this on Malachi Black.
Interesting.
I just thought Dustin looked a little slow in there tonight. Maybe it was me. Black did win that match. Maybe it was just me. I was also wincing in pain every 10 seconds. Could have been me.
Yeah, I think some of that, though, is also just we all know where this is going, and none of us are really all that excited. Because all of this is just, to set up the match with Cody.
Right.
So it's like we all just kind of wanted to get there and be done with it.
Oh, yeah.
Like anytime anybody's feuding with Cody, we all just kind of want to see them do things that doesn't involve Cody.
Yeah, I did think, one thing Malachi Black does have is he's very creative with continuity. He pulled out the boot. If you remember, Cody was taking off his boots about to retire when Malachi Black attacked him. He broke out the boot tonight and started using it. That I thought is cool. I mean, just going down to the whole eye thing that he's doing with, when Buddy Murphy, took out his eye. Very creative with continuity, and you know what? It works.
Definitely.
It works, man. It's something that's been missing from wrestling for a very long time. And, I mean, you can see how creative this guy was, and the fact that WWE obviously wasn't letting him, use his creative juices, as they say.
That's it.
We talked a little bit earlier about Eddie Kingston. Fucking loved this promo, dude. He's just... I don't know why, man. He makes me happy when I see him. I don't know why.
The best part was, unfortunately, you missed it Friday, but I was watching while I was waiting for us to go on to talk about draft day. I was watching Rampage, and he came out there, cut a promo before All Out, obviously, on Miro. And my favorite thing is he ends the promo with, "Call yourself the Redeemer, partner. Tell you what, my man, how about you redeem these nuts?" And he drops the microphone, gets in the ring, and then just Excalibur goes, "The pride of New York, Eddie Kingston." That is beautiful.
And his shirt at All Out did say "Redeem these nuts." I like that too. Again, man, they've all got a little continuity. They're doing a lot. It's fun. Believe it or not, continuity like this is fun in wrestling. And guess what? You're supposed to have fun when watching wrestling. You're not supposed to sit there and just be like, "Are the kiddies liking it?"
Mm-hmm.
No. It's just not the way it's supposed to be. But after that Eddie Kingston promo, we had CM Punk come out. Crowd, of course, going fucking ape shit for him again. He thanks Darby, Stings, and the fans. This is very uber babyface CM Punk we're getting right now.
I wonder. I saw people like have theories on this based on the way that he wrestled during All Out. This is just setting up for an inevitable like heel turn, because people were saying that he wrestled very heelish because there's a lot of like rest holds and things of that nature. To me, it just seemed more like he was trying to find his footing because he hadn't wrestled in 7 years. But yeah, maybe it is. He is being, like you said, he's being very like he's basically the AEW mascot at the moment.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I think in the match, I believe he was trying to tell the story. He's trying to get his bearings back about him and kind of, kick off the ring rust. I mean, yeah, he's probably, excuse me, been wrestling with people, for a while now, but I think that's the story he was trying to tell in there. I don't think he was wrestling heel heel at all. I do think eventually he will turn heel. I mean, it's CM Punk, goddammit. He's brilliant at it.
Sure.
So I did like that he put over Suzuki and Moxley and Ruby. He basically put over everybody. Bryan Danielson, of course. And we've got Linda Pillman out there. And Punk says Punk did mention her, says, I saw the dark side of the ring. You're a hell of a woman. But says he'll let the fans decide who's next for him. Now, Smark, were you as confused as I was with what Taz was saying?
Yes. Also, a quick aside, next week, the first half of season 3 Dark Side of the Ring is out on Hulu for those who haven't seen it.
There you go. All right. I'm going to check that out while it's on there. Now, it wasn't that Taz stood up. I think he stood up too early, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because he was going through, for those who haven't seen it, CM Punk was like, he asked the fans who he should wrestle next. And obviously, people aren't going to give him an answer in unison. That would be really weird. If everybody just, stood up and they were like, Dr. Luther! Which, I mean, who would want that? But anyways, everybody, he's like listing all the names that he heard, because he's like, oh, I heard so-and-so said Kenny Omega, and this person said, this person. And there's just a lot of other people, and then just out of nowhere, he didn't mention a single person on Team Taz, and Taz stands up and goes, you know what, I've had enough about this. Don't you ever say a member of Team Taz.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't.
I know. Punk's like, not only didn't, not one person in this fucking whole crowd mentioned Team Taz, not one person from it. But he did say, you know what, bring on your little bitches, bring on Hook, bring on Hobbs, bring on Starks. He doesn't care, bring them all on. And then, like I said earlier, he jumps back on the ropes and says, I'm back, motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. They didn't even pan the camera. They let that fly. Didn't even pan the camera. So, I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. And I guess they decided to, like I said, I really feel Taz stood up early. Because Punk was like, out of respect, I'll let you talk, but don't fucking interrupt me again. The whole crowd was like, yeah.
It was a very awkward sort of a situation, because their back and forth felt very awkward, and he's only being honest, but at the same time it made people on Team Taz look bad, because he was like, dude, nobody mentioned you guys. I didn't mention them. The fans didn't mention them. You guys aren't over. What are you fucking talking about? Really the only thing that is even could potentially be parsed from this, or any sort of a backstory that could be sort of figured out from this, was he did post a picture, I believe on Twitter earlier, that he found a FTW hat in the gym. And he said that he could only think of 3 people that would actually want to wear this in public. But they didn't even really mention that so much. He just kind of vaguely said that they're talking bad about him on social media. But I don't know who else, very few people who would even have seen that post or know about that or just whatever. So it was all very clunky and awkward and weird.
Yeah, it's almost like when Goldberg was coming out to tell Drew, you need to respect the elders. He's like, I think I've been doing that, my man. Okay, it's like, yeah, you have been. What the fuck is Goldberg talking about? The Phantom promo, as they call it, Smark.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess this was all just to bring out Hobbs anyway for his match with Dante Martin. Hobbs still needs work, but I do like the guy. I really do. I definitely think he needs a little more time, a little more work, but I like him. Dante, he's a hell of a high flyer, man. And very obviously talented. He obviously young and talented, which is even better. He's going to have a good long career.
Oh yeah, he has a very bright future ahead of him.
So bright he has to wear shades.
There you go.
According to Timbuk3.
Christopher Kane saying Black messed up the finish in the opener.
I didn't quite see the finish completely. Did he? He might have.
I wasn't sure either. I know he hit him with, and they need to come up with a name because they just keep calling it the spinning heel kick.
Yeah, or the roundhouse, or they just keep calling it something bullshit every time.
Which I mean is the official, that's actually what it's called or whatever. That's the technique, however you want to phrase it. But when it's not a finisher name, it just kind of makes it sound like it's just an ordinary move. So if that's going to be his finisher, because I know he can't call it Black Bass anymore, but something.
Just fucking call it Black Death.
Yeah.
Black Death.
Black Plague, whatever
Black
the fuck.
Plague.
Just something.
That might be taken by some. There's probably got to be there's a Black Mass movie too, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Black Death, Black Plague. You could call it 1,000 things with the word black in it. Not going to call
Yeah,
it.
spinning heel kick, not spinning wheel kick, I know.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to call it a Malachi kick or anything. The Muay Thai Malachi. What do you think of that?
There you go.
Malachi Muay Thai? Be like Tybo.
I like it.
Like Tybo. Little Billy Blanks. Who doesn't like Billy Blanks?
Exactly.
I like Billy Blanks. He was in a movie, I remember. He was in The Last Boy Scout.
Interesting.
Right in the beginning, right when they're playing football. He shoots 2 guys and then puts a bullet in his head in the end zone.
All right.
Great movie. Actually, it's a good movie. It is a good
every movie I watch has murder and death in it too. So
well, it's a cop movie. It's got Bruce Willis, a private investigator movie. Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans.
Okay.
Good movie though. Very good movie. So anyway, all right, we've put over Dante enough. Dan Lambert, once again out there with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, just out there shitting on AEW's millennial generation of fans. And I love every second of it.
Absolutely. I love his promos. I kind of wish that they put him with somebody else, though, because it's knowing what I know makes it weird, because he's like, his whole shtick is that he is, as I kind of alluded to on commentary, old man yells at clouds. He's the older guy, the traditionalist. You know, back in his day, wrestlers were men, and the guys that he's managing now are real men. But like, if you go online, there's all kinds of fucking. Ethan Page has his own vlog where he shows all his fucking comic book movie collection or comic book collection and just Power Rangers memorabilia and shit. Like, he's essentially a less popular version of Matt Cardona, and it's like it makes it hard for me to believe this gimmick when you're managing him, but your promos are still really good.
Well, just concentrate on the promos because they are great. He's really good. He's a fucking natural at this, man.
Oh, he's fucking wonderful. He's very good.
Absolutely, man. We had MJF coming on out with Wardlow. He's basically talking shit. Says the match was restarted Sunday because of a bias against me. He shit on Cincinnati for a while. Talked a little shit to Linda Pillman. And good.
I think he called her 60 and pregnant, which made me laugh.
Yeah, and talked a little shit to Pillman's daughter.
Called her Roseanne. It was fucking wonderful.
Called her Roseanne. Now, Pillman Jr. comes out looking like the best Brian Bosworth ever could have. He really does have a Brian Bosworth look to him. I don't know why I think that, but he does. And obviously with, what's his name? MJF talking shit about his family. He runs down there. He's in the ring, and Wardlow is in between, Pillman and MJF, and MJF at one point looks at Wardlow and goes, "Why don't you just go stand in the corner and look pretty? Because you helped me out so great on Sunday, didn't you?"
That's it.
Obviously, eventually, I mean, they've been teasing this for a while. Eventually, Wardlow's just going to knock this motherfucker out. MJF took a couple of low blows at Pillman's mom with what he was saying, though. I will say that.
Called her Methany Pillman, which I thought was fucking amazing.
It was pretty funny, but it was still kind of low. Still kind of low.
He said he would have been better off swallowed like the rest of the potential suitors or the rest of the potential next generation wrestlers.
You know what? I've got about 40 seconds of him right here, of MJF. We can go ahead and back up these 3 seconds and hit play.
It's one of the great wrestling cities. It's called the Midwest because every single thing in it is mid. Skyline Chili. Mid. Your Cincinnati Reds, who haven't won a World Series since 1990. Mid. The Reds suck. And every single person who lives here is mid.
always good at talking shit to the crowd, getting the crowd hyped up. He's always great at that. Just great to hear. But yeah, he did. Like I said, those were kind of low blows down there with what he was saying to Pillman. But that's a feud I can get into right there. MJF and Pillman Jr.
Mm-hmm. It's a good showcase for Pillman Jr. because obviously they're high on him, but we haven't really got to see him do too much outside of just the tag team realm.
Right. Yeah, exactly. My dog will not stop shaking over here.
Oh,
You would think I just gave him a bath.
mine got a bath Monday. I don't think she's forgiven me yet.
I know that feeling. So anyway, after the whole Pillman thing, we get Jamie Hayter versus Ruby Soho. But we got to bring up one thing that was said as Britt Baker and her crew were back there with Ruby Soho, and Tony Schiavone's talking, and Britt Baker looks at her and goes, "You call yourself the Runaway. Why don't you run away to catering where you have been for the last 4 years?" Ouch. Ouch. But a great line nonetheless. Great line nonetheless.
That's one of those where I felt bad for her because it's like, you really did. What can you say to that? It's like, shit.
I know. All you can do is go out there and beat the shit out of her if you can.
I mean, pretty much the only thing she can pretty much do is basically she just like kind of turned to Tony Schiavone and was like, "You better keep your bitch in check, man."
That would have been
Which
great.
poor Schiavone was getting it all night long too.
He really was, man. Cole really got in his face. But anyway, we had Jamie Hayter versus Ruby Soho. Once again, the crowd chant was great for Ruby. She again kind of had that look like, "Oh my God, I still can't believe this." But Ruby did win after the match. She's attacked by Britt, Rebel, and Hayter. Statlander and Riho come in. Statlander's got a chair to kind of even everything out. And the heels run. They skedaddle, Smark. All right. Now, I hope you saw this because I missed the whole Pinnacle versus Dark Order match. I'll be honest, I was freezing. I had to go take a shower to warm up. I got to figure out what's wrong with me, dude. I don't have a fever, though.
Really not too much to talk about. It's just a furtheration or a continuation, I guess is an actual word, unlike furtheration. But it's a continuation of the Dark Order feud of them basically just collapsing onto themselves, imploding. FTR ended up winning the match, and there was just more back and forth infighting between the Dark Order, while Anna Jay and Tay Conti just kind of watched on in disbelief. There wasn't really too much to it. It was what it was. Unfortunately, I feel like it would have been better if they allocated more time to the main event and just didn't bother with this one at all, or just put it on the back burner for next week or whatever. Because I would say that Dynamite as a whole was a really good show, but it was just one of those things where there's so much going on right now that the main event got a little bit shortchanged, I feel like.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially the entrance for Suzuki was like 25 seconds. It was like, whoa, did you just cut? I mean, come on. This is fucking Minoru Suzuki here.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there isn't too much theatrics to his entrance outside of he does terrorize fucking in New Japan. They have, the Young Lions, so he just terrorizes them and threatens to cause physical harm to the announcers. But for the most part, he's kind of straightforward. But they sped through his entrance and they sped through the match. It seems like they almost spent more time promoting it than they actually did have it happen. So that was kind of weird.
Well, when I turned it on, or when the match came on for me, it was 48 past the hour. So it was, there's, 12 minutes left in the show. Wasn't going to be a long match no matter what. And I think they might have spent a little bit too much time on this whole, Tony Schiavone with the Elite. You get Don Callis. They bring out Adam Cole. Like you said, Cole gets in his face, in Tony's face. Bryan Danielson out. Omega clears the ring. "Can I have the room?" he says. Why don't you just give me the room? Give me the room. And Bryan challenges Omega, but he's jumped by the Elite. And Jurassic Express and Christian kind of came down to even the odds. I mean, look, I'm not saying this didn't have to be in there, but did it have to be here? You're right. This Pinnacle Dark Order match probably could have been, bumped and spent a little more time on these last two segments.
Right. I get having the elite segment because obviously everybody wants to hear from Adam Cole. And then you do two birds and one stone because you have Brian come out too.
Right.
So I understand that part. Like maybe you had them all come out together. Maybe you don't, spend extra time bringing out Adam Cole separate from the elite or whatever. But that was a necessary segment in my opinion. But then just, like I said, the six-man tag wasn't really all that necessary for this week.
Right.
That could have been a Rampage thing. That could have been a Dynamite thing next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. By just these last two segments, you're right, and they definitely ran through the last match really quick. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't a good, brutal match to end the show with, but I mean, Moxley wins obviously for a nice feel-good, to leave Dynamite with, but pretty good match, but very quick. Suzuki was busted open at one point, but not too much really. But a good match, to say the least.
Yeah, and they did have a match in New Japan that went for a bit longer and was a pretty good match in and of its own. But I was a little bit bummed out because they did spend a lot of time talking about it and they promoted it and everybody was excited for it. And then they just didn't really give them enough time to go out there and really get anything going. Because it seemed like they only had like a minute or two before they hit pitcher and pitcher. And then after pitcher and pitcher, it wound down. It was over pretty quickly after that. So it was a little bit of a bummer there. But all in all, I think it was a solid show.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't an excellent show. It wasn't an amazing show, but I thought it was definitely a good show. Like I said, after All Out, I mean, Jesus Christ, how much more could you really do after your pay-per-view? I mean, you blew your wad pretty good.
True. That is true.
Yeah, I know.
But,
You blew everywhere. You're a little hydrated. You could use a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
A piss, definitely a piss. So, they took a little break, but it was still a good show. Not like they just, phoned it in for this show. I thought they still furthered a lot of storylines, got their new people, their new guys out there really good and put them over and made some matches.
That's it. That's really all you can ask for.
That's it, man. So I guess on that, we can wrap this up. Like I said, I know we kind of sped through a few things tonight, and I apologize for that. It's my fault. I'm just not feeling very good. But we still got through everything. Pretty much. No, we got through everything, actually. I don't think I skipped a damn thing. So, all right, let's play this song here, and that means I will definitely tell everyone to check out the High Marks. That's right, it's Cheeseman, it's Mojo, it's G-Wiz. It is on Mixler.com/Metal Network. That's right, check them out over there, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Sundays. And, of course, you got the Inhumans, Bobby Anthem and Bobby Blades on the Inhuman Experience. Check them out on all the usual podcast platforms. And, of course, while you're over there, check out the Everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. That's Eric and Doug and Daniel, and they are over there on all the usual platforms and Blog Talk Radio, so check them out. And Steve Milan out there sharing the show, greatly appreciated. Check him out over there, letterboxd, boxd.com/Steven Milan, 2 L's in Milan. And, of course, don't forget to tune on in Friday for Hollywood Hangout once again, folks. And, again, much earlier, not going at 11:30 Eastern Time again. Whew, my old ass can't take this shit no more. Go ahead, Smark.
That's it. Mondays, 8:30 p.m. on the Metal Mint Podcast Network on the Mixler machine. Cheese on Sports with Cheese Man, Cheese Master, as well as Luke Birch, G-Wiz, Matt, and myself. Check us out Mondays at 8:30, Sundays, 10:30 a.m. on the Metal Mint Podcast Network. Mo Dirk City Machine Guns with Mojo with Dirk. And last but never least, be sure to check out our friends at Planet Rack on Tour. It's the Planet Rack on Tour podcast. Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave, Sincere, and Yuck Nasty. All 16 episodes are available of Season 1, and Season 2 is ongoing, so be sure to subscribe so that you can get all of them, and I will keep reminding you if you don't.
Okay. All right. So you are now a permanent fixture on Cheese on Sports?
That's it. Mondays, 8:30.
All right. Well, I have not said congratulations, sir, and I need to. Congratulations. Very good. Very good. So, all right, man. So you can listen to Smark Monday nights as well as here, and that's it. We are out of here. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Thank you, chat room. Thank you, downloaders. Thank you, and we will see you next time.
Adios.
So, look here.